Occasionally, some may not fully grasp the importance of having objectives for their classes. Hopefully, this video will shed a little light on why they are necessary. Looking at this diagram of the course alignment process, we can view the relationship between the various course components and the objectives that should be present in any course. As this diagram is a modified bullseye, we see specific items that are included so that students can meet individual module level objectives and ultimately the overarching course level objectives. These encapsulate the learning that you desire your students to meet by the completion of the class. While I'll spend a little more detail on the objectives, we'll also need to address those items in the center of the diagram. 3 of these aid in the meeting of each module objective. The 4th allows the facilitation of these course elements. All 4 have a symbiotic relationship with each other. These items include the following: instructional materials. These consist of readings, lectures, PowerPoints, videos, and other course learning materials. Learning activities. These are no-stakes or low-stakes exercises that provide opportunities for students to test their knowledge or practice their skills. Assessments are how we can determine whether a student has met the learning objectives. These include exams or quizzes, assignments, discussion questions, or any other assessments that measure the desired learning to meet the module level objectives, as well as the course level objectives. The course tools are apps within Blackboard and other outside tools that assist you in delivering the content, the activities, and the assessments to the students. These include the document publication tool, the quiz tool, the discussion tool, video production programs and hosting, and others. Along with the tools, the instructional materials, activities, and assessments make it possible for students to achieve the module level objectives. As they are named, module level objectives are distinct to specific modules. A module level objective cannot appear in 2 or more modules. Several module level objectives will flow into a single course level objective. While there are many module level objectives, there are a limited number of course level objectives. The specific number of course level objectives are determined by the instructor for each individual course. They will vary from course to course. Some recommend that course level objectives should be limited to 5 or 6 in number. Again, this will vary depending on the level of the course and its content. According to Quality Matters, and as we stated earlier, measurable course level learning objectives precisely and clearly describe what learners will be able to do if they successfully complete the course. Course level objectives describe desired learning achievement using terms that are specific and measurable enough to be measured by the instructor. As an example, I'll be using a digital photography class that I taught for 6 years at another institution. I taught it both as a traditional course and as an online course. I'll be discussing a single course learning objective and multiple module learning objectives. In this particular course, the module objectives will span modules 5 and 6. All will descend from one course learning objective that deals with various lighting styles. Since we will be working from broad to specific with our learning objectives, we'll start with the course learning objectives. You may want to preface the learning objectives with the following. By the end of this course, students will be able to... Typically, when reviewing courses, we often see learning objectives with wording that appears to be measurable, but in reality, they are not. We'll give you a few examples. Here's one. Appreciate the variety of natural and artificial lighting styles. Well, we certainly cannot measure a person's appreciation for anything. That's internal. What we might be able to measure is the following. Describe your emotional response to photographs using a variety of natural and artificial lighting styles. Here's a second. Understand the variety of natural and artificial lighting styles. We often use the word understanding in an objective to equate with learning. But the problem is, how do we measure the learning? What leads an instructor to be able to measure the concepts that are learned? I can't measure your understanding without an action verb that is measurable. We might use something like this. Demonstrate how to employ a variety of natural and artificial lighting styles. And a third that is not measurable is know the variety of natural and artificial lighting styles. While we can measure knowledge, the verb to know is not measurable in and of itself. Try something along the lines of identify the variety of natural and artificial lighting styles used in a series of photographs. We're going to get a little more granular with my chosen course objective. Create photographs using both natural and artificial lighting styles. Let's turn to the module objectives. Module 5 deals with natural lighting, in other words, using the sun and diffused sunlight as a light source. By the end of this module, students will be able to identify 5 natural lighting styles used in photography. Identifying can be measured, and usually with a quiz. The second is produce photographs that exemplify lighting during the golden and blue hours. Producing is the active verb here. And our third module learning objective for Module 5 is create photographic portraits using bright midday sunlight, overcast light, and window light. Turning now to Module 6, it deals with artificial lighting styles in portraiture. Our first module learning objective is classify examples of the 4 primary lighting styles used in portraiture. Matching or multiple choice questions on a quiz would measure whether students could classify photos in the correct category. Therefore, to classify would serve as an active verb. Our second module level objective for this particular module would be construct portraits using the artificial lighting styles of paramount lighting, loop lighting, Rembrandt lighting, and side lighting. Constructing is active. We would be able to see if the students were able to correctly position their lights for their submitted photographs. Objectives and alignment tend to be areas that several individuals struggle with at times. And I hope this video has been helpful in making your Concord University course much better.